Good morning and welcome to Scotland Speaks here at the Lauriston Hall in Edinburgh, and this hall, as you know, is the home of the ALBA Party Conference taking place over the course of this weekend, but it's also the home of the announcement of the results for the ALBA Leader and Deputy Leader contest. Now, people are just filing in and we're about to begin proceedings, which we're going to bring to you in their entirety for this week's show. So sit back and enjoy it. Although you'll know the results by the time this is broadcast, it'll be interesting to hear what some of the candidates had to say. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the announcement of the leadership elections across both leadership roles and deputy leader roles. It strikes me that it's worth noting that it was 4 years ago today that the ALBA Party was launched, to this very day, by former First Minister Alex Salmond. We didn't plan for today nor the tragedy that meant that Alex left us so soon, sooner than he would expect and all of us would have expected. But it is our job, as he would expect of us, to continue to deliver his dream, indeed our dream, the ALBA Party's dream of an independent Scotland, and that is what brings us here today. So as he rests easy, in peace and in power, we are here to complete the journey he started us on and to deliver it for him. This starts with the election of his successors as the leadership of the ALBA Party. And with that, it gives me great pleasure to invite the returning officer for these elections, Mike Mackenzie, to deliver the results. Mike.
Thank you. I'd firstly like to thank our candidates. ALBA are very lucky to have an array of such good quality candidates. I'd like to thank them for their good humour, for their treating each other with such dignity and courtesy during this election process. I'd also like to thank Choice Voting, the company that provided the black box electronic voting system. It seems to me to be an efficient system and one that's easy for both the users and the voters. And I'm absolutely assured of the integrity of that system. And then I'd like to thank the unsung heroes. As always, the small group of ALBA staff that helped to make these events work. You would have seen them in here earlier, setting up chairs and so on and so forth. These people are, go way beyond the call of duty, and it's only right that we thank them for their efforts. So I'm now going to go on and announce first the leadership results and then the deputy leadership. You'll have to bear with me. The print's very small and I should have brought my reading glasses with me. In the leadership election, Kenny MacAskill achieved 1,331 votes. and Ash Regan MSP achieved 1,212 votes. I therefore declare Kenny MacAskill the new leader of the ALBA party. For those who have an interest in some of the further numbers, the total number of ballots issued was 5,002. The turnout was 50.839%. There were 5,008 eligible voters as of February the 9th. Kenny achieved 52.3397% of the votes, and Ash 47.6602% of these votes. All these numbers will be published shortly on the party website. For the deputy leader, the numbers are as follows. Christopher McElhenney achieved 540 votes. Neale Hanvey achieved 1,897 votes. I therefore declare that that Freudian slip there, I'm afraid, that Neale Hanvey is the new deputy leader of the ALBA party. The total ballots were 5,002. The turnout was 48.72%. There were 5,008 eligible voters as of February the 9th. Members who cancelled their membership during the election had their ballot removed. Neale achieved 77.8416% of the vote. Chris achieved 22.1583% of the vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Mike, and on behalf of the party, thank you for your service to the party. Can I take the opportunity to congratulate both Kenny and Neale, and also Ash and Chris. Now is the opportunity for all candidates to say a few words, to be followed by questions. We'll start with Kenny, to be followed by Ash, to be followed by Neale, to be followed by Chris. Kenny MacAskill, our new party leader, welcome.
Well, thanks very much, Taz. As in every election, I think it's appropriate that I should record my thanks to those involved in the democratic process. So I pay tribute to Mike Mackenzie. In most elections, returning officers are paid. Mike has been travelling a considerable distance from his home on the west coast of Scotland to allow the party to facilitate this election, and has been doing so at his own expense. So I'm extremely grateful for the contribution he's made, the time he has taken, and the efforts that he has made. I also commiserate with Ash. She has been a doughty campaigner in Holyrood, and I look forward to continuing to work with her. Her championing of the cause of independence there, as well as promoting the rights of women and children, has been sterling in its efforts, essential for our country and its people, and Neale and myself will be seeking to do what we can to assist her in all the efforts that she will continue to make. I also pay tribute to Neale Hanvey and look forward to working with him. Neale has been pivotal in assisting myself and indeed Taz, the chair of the party, in dealing with some difficulties that we've had since the passing of our leader. Neale's efforts have been sterling, and I look forward to him continuing in office and working with him. This was, of course, an election that none of us wanted. It was brought about by a tragedy, the loss of our leader, our founder, and indeed our friend. We will always remember him. Alec is incorporated in his DNA in the issue and the essence of the ALBA party. But as Taz said, he would have expected us to do no more than to get on with things to deliver his dream. He spent his life campaigning for Scottish independence. He took us close, and it's now up to us to deliver that and take the final steps towards the conclusion of that journey. I don't want to preempt conference because the decisions that the party will make are not simply made by the leader or indeed by an executive team. It's made by the party at our conference. It's a conference that we had to cancel and postpone because of Alex's tragic passing, but it's a conference that we look forward to on Friday and Saturday that will allow the democratic process to take place, and we will decide the mandate and the basis upon which we will contest the next election. But it already is quite clear that the ALBA party will stand for independence, because the tragedy, as Alec always knew, in Scotland is not how bad things are, because for many, if not most of us in this hall and elsewhere in Scotland, it is a good country to live in and the quality of life is acceptable and good for many. Tragically, child poverty and other issues are accelerating and increasing. But it is a good country, and the tragedy of Scotland is not how bad things are, but how much better things should be. Other countries in the world, small nations of similar size, who have far less than the natural resource that we possess, not simply in ancient universities on the bounty of oil and gas and now renewables, have delivered far more for their nation in GDP and other economic indices, and far more for their people, as the plight of poverty shows for so many in Scotland. That is the journey that we have to conclude. We have to make sure that we have a vibrant Scottish economy. We have to make sure that that economy delivers for our people, not has austerity imposed upon it, as is happening later today down in Westminster. That's why at conference we will discuss and debate the how and the why of independence, but it appears clear to me that we are set on ensuring that the how is by a plebiscite election, that every election is a vote for independence, and secondly, and just as importantly, the how and the why of independence. We are an energy-rich country in which half of our people are in fuel poverty. We're an oil and gas producing nation, a major oil producer, and our only oil refinery is to shut. That is perverse and it is absurd. Scotland should be benefiting from its natural resource. We should be energy rich. Our country should be sharing that bounty, and our people should be benefiting from it. And that is the agenda that we will be discussing this week, and that is the prospectus and manifesto that we will take to the Scottish people in the Holyrood elections next year, when a vote for ALBA will be a vote for independence, and it will be a vote for Alex Salmond.
Thanks very much, everyone. I won't speak for too long. First of all, just like to thank every member of the ALBA party who voted in the election and who supported any of the candidates. It's really important that we have a free and fair election with a democratic result, and I think that that has been demonstrated clearly today. Also like to thank Mike McKenzie for his outstanding work as returning officer, and he has done an exemplary job. I also like to thank my partner Lino and our boys for putting up with all of the stress and pressure that goes on in the background that people don't see. Their support is always incredibly important to me. This is really important for the ALBA party. We can now draw a line under this issue and begin to move forward. We have a job of work to do as we head into the Holyrood elections in 2026. We need to get our message clarified and focused, and we'll do that at conference, but we also need to look at a range of different activities to get that campaign going, and that is something that I have made a commitment to do during the hustings process, and it's something that I now have the authority as Deputy Leader to take forward. I'm looking very much looking forward to working collaboratively with Kenny, as I have done for many years now, but also supporting Ash and her team in Holyrood to keep the pressure on the SNP government to deliver on their commitment to independence. The ALBA party was founded 4 years ago, and it's a tragedy that we've had to have a leadership election at all. The loss of Alex is absolutely immense, but we will honour his commitment to Scotland and his dedication to the cause of independence throughout his life, and it is the greatest honour of my life to follow in his footsteps in trying to achieve that ambition for Scotland. Thanks.
Water is life, but not all water is equal. Our water ionizer restructures and alkalizes water for optimum hydration and detoxification, recreating the planet's ultimate water sources, found in lightning-struck lakes and newly melted icebergs. H2 Pure Source. Change your water. Change your life.
Well, it's an honour and privilege to be an elected ALBA party leader. It's a position I never sought. I think it's an election all of us wish had never come about. It came about because of the tragic passing of our leader, our founder, our friend Alex Salmond. But we know that Alec would have expected no less than that we seek to deliver his dream, that we have to conclude that journey. And that is why we go into a conference later this week, ready and determined to get out there into our streets, into our housing schemes and housing estates, to take that message that Scotland needs independence. The how and the why is what we have to get out there. The how is that this will be an independence election. Every vote for ALBA is a vote for independence. And the why is that it's not just a constitutional change, it doesn't matter. We're an energy-rich country, yet half of our people are in fuel poverty. We're a major oil-producing nation that's about to see its oil refineries shut. Those are perverse and absurd. That's why we have to make sure that we have an independent Scotland, and that's why a vote for ALBA is a vote for independence and a vote for Alex Salmond.
Hi everyone, I'm absolutely delighted to have been elected as the Deputy Leader for the ALBA Party to support Kenny and the whole ALBA Party team as we move towards the Holyrood election. It's amazing that it's 4 years today that Alec founded the ALBA Party, and it was a real honour to be part of that launch of the party. But 4 years later, sadly we've lost Alec. However, we do need to move forward because we are the party of independence. And Alec's ambition for Scotland needs to be honoured, and that is our absolute commitment. What I will be doing in the coming weeks is engaging with the membership, first at conference and then beyond, to build our capacity within the party and get people active. There's a whole range of different things that we can do in the lead up to 2026, and I want to make sure that we capture the energy and enthusiasm of the membership and drive our message home so we get a great result in 2026. Once again, thank you so much for voting for me. It's really appreciated. It's been a great contest and a great result.
And with that, we come to the end of this week's show. I do hope you've enjoyed it, and of course next week and the week after you'll be able to see some of the recordings from the ALBA Party Conference. So if you weren't able to make it in person for the oversubscribed conference, you can see it here on this show. Until then, stay safe, take care, bye for now.